The air was electric. The crowd murmured in anticipation, shifting restlessly in their seats as they awaited a fight that had been hyped for weeks. Two legends were about to collide in an arena that promised nothing short of pure adrenaline. On one side stood Moon Lee, the swift and elegant martial artist known for her lightning-fast kicks and acrobatic agility. On the other, the powerhouse himself, Mr. T, the juggernaut of brute strength, indomitable will, and an unbreakable fighting spirit. This was not just a battle of skill. It was a clash of styles, philosophies, and raw willpower. Who would emerge victorious? That answer would only be revealed through blood, sweat, and sheer determination. Moon Lee was no stranger to combat. A Hong Kong action star and trained martial artist, she embodied speed and precision. Her fighting style was deeply rooted in wushu, a discipline that emphasized fluidity, grace, and devastatingly quick strikes. Her kicks were fast, unpredictable, and often delivered with pinpoint accuracy. Her agility was unmatched. She could weave in and out of danger like a shadow, striking before her opponent even registered the movement. However, her biggest strength, speed, was also her greatest vulnerability. Moon Lee lacked the brute force of heavy hitters like Mr. T. While she could evade and counter effectively, a single well-placed power punch could spell disaster for her. Against someone with overwhelming strength, she had to rely on strategy rather than sheer force. Mr. T, on the other hand, was a fortress. Built like a tank, he was known for his raw power and unyielding determination. Every punch he threw had the force of a wrecking ball behind it, capable of ending a fight in seconds. He had been in real fights before. He was a street-hardened warrior with the battle scars to prove it. His presence alone exuded dominance. His signature mohawk, gold chains, and intense glare were enough to intimidate most opponents before the fight even began. But Mr. T wasn't just a brute. He was smart, tactical, and had years of combat experience that gave him an edge in reading his opponents. However, his greatest weakness was his lack of speed. While he could take a beating and keep coming, he struggled against opponents who relied on finesse rather than brute strength. If he couldn't catch Moon Lee, his punches would be wasted energy. The bell rang and the crowd erupted. Moon Lee wasted no time, immediately darting forward with a series of rapid kicks aimed at Mr. T's legs and torso. The bigger man grunted but barely flinched. He swung a massive right hook, but she ducked under it effortlessly, countering with a spinning back kick that caught him in the ribs. The speed differential was clear from the start. Moon Lee danced around him, her movements fluid and evasive. Every time he swung, she was already gone, landing small but precise strikes that accumulated over time. The audience gasped as she leaped off the ropes, flipping in midair before landing a devastating kick to the side of Mr. T's head. He stumbled but didn't fall. Moon Lee made a rare miscalculation. She stepped too close while attempting a high kick. Mr. T, seizing the opportunity, caught her leg midair. The entire crowd seemed to hold its breath as he yanked her forward and delivered a monstrous punch to her midsection. The impact was like a thunderclap. Moon Lee's body crumpled to the mat, the wind completely knocked out of her. She rolled away, trying to recover, but Mr. T wasn't letting up. He advanced, relentless, throwing heavy fists that forced her onto the defensive. Each strike was like a sledgehammer, and while she blocked some, the sheer force sent shockwaves through her frame. She was fast, but speed alone wasn't enough to stop a storm. In a desperate attempt to regain control, Moon Lee went for a flying kick, her signature move. But Mr. T was ready. He sidestepped, caught her midair, and slammed her down with a spine-rattling powerbomb. The arena erupted. Moon Lee lay on the ground, dazed. She tried to get up, but her body wouldn't listen. The referee counted. 1, 2, 3. It was over. Mr. T had won. While Moon Lee was undoubtedly the superior technician, Mr. T's sheer durability and power gave him the edge. He withstood her flurry of strikes long enough to capitalize on one mistake. And in a fight, sometimes that's all it takes, one opening, one opportunity. He used his strengths effectively, ensuring that when he landed a hit, it was decisive. Moon Lee had fought valiantly, proving her incredible skill, but Mr. T's resilience and raw power were simply too much. In the end, speed couldn't overcome brute force when it was wielded with experience and patience. As Mr. T stood victorious, he looked down at Moon Lee and nodded, a sign of respect. She had pushed him to his limits, and that alone made her a warrior. The crowd roared, celebrating a fight that would be talked about for years. A battle of speed versus power, finesse versus brute strength. But on this night, the beast had prevailed over the shadow. And Mr. T had once again proven why he was an unstoppable force.